I suited up, but did I get the results? So we round off with DarthUnkei, who was up against Liu. Not a big GP difference at all between the two accounts, 80k, so very small. 25 Zeta advantage for Liu. I've got 4 Omicrons on Liu though, although again, I would say 2 of them I've put recently on Dash and Darth Talon, but 3 of them are on Starkiller, who's still undergeared at this point. Total relics, we've got 135 between us, so quite interesting just to see a fair number like that. I'm 4 relic 5 pluses behind, 7 gear 12s ahead, quite a big leap on the 6 dot mods. We're looking at just shy of 100, and I'm ahead on the 15 plus speed mods. However, I am behind on the 20 and the 25s by quite a distance on the 25s, by 14, so yeah, I didn't feel great seeing that. As far as the GLs, I've got 5, I'm missing Lord Vader, and my opponent got all 6, so that was interesting. It wasn't insurmountable, but it was interesting. So let's share the board loot. So yeah, again, an interesting front wall I thought I'd set, and an interesting one I was facing. So let's show you a bit more. So I went with Hook's lead on defense. I thought Crew is a bit outdated as a lead. I wouldn't say it's not a good lead, you can still get holds, but I feel like Hooks can catch people out. So I thought I'll throw that down. Qui-Gon I took on offense last round, but I thought let's put him back on defense. I wanted to see if Starkiller could do anything with EP Mara. So even though there's only, gear 10 on him, I thought at the very least he's going to provide buffs to EP and Mara, and I thought I'll throw in Kanan just as some tank. Maybe it would have been better if I put General Kenobi in there, but that felt a high price to pay. So I'll have a think on that one in future, but I thought I'd play with it, just see how it got on. And then I put the Dooku team down that I've thrown down a few rounds recently. Yeah, not much hope in that, but I thought I'll see how it gets on. Then up here, down here, sorry, we've got Dash Rendar again, we've got Finn, we've got Bam, and we've got Rey. So, yeah, I thought I'll throw a GL down on the south wall. Okay, so we're going to our opponents. Unfortunately, I haven't got great screenshots here because I forgot to take them. Yeah, so my opponent put SLKR up north, only 1 tank. They had put Django, they had put Darth Revan with Nest and Talon, and they had put Rey. That is also BB-8, Holdo, R2 and Rey, or Rey Jedi Training. So it wasn't a weak comp. And then for the south wall, we've got 501st, Starkiller, JMK, and Lord Vader. So yeah, the Lord Vader comp, just for clarification, is Lord Vader, Thrawn, Maul, Darth Vader, and Royal Guard. So again, these were not small teams. It was a very difficult front wall, and to be honest, it threw me off my plan because I had estimated 3 GLs at most would be on defense, so I was not expecting 4 plus Starkiller. So I did feel a little overpowered at this point. I thought, all right, we may have to play for a zone. So yeah, I wasn't feeling confident when I saw the board, I will be completely honest. So let's show you the first battle, let's show you how we got on. Okay, so we've got the first battle. This was CLS versus Gas. Yeah, so whenever I've been doing this on this account, I start by targeting 5s, just for the fact that at this GP level I expect the 5s to be well modded, so my normal strategy on the other accounts is to go for Gas straight away. But I believe that with that first attack where you can ignore Taunt, it's probably worth getting some protection off 5s. So yeah, it seems to be paying off okay. I feel like these 2 Chewbacca's may need some tenacity. I wasn't particularly happy about this bit. We got 1 days. Now, I have had situations where there have been 2, or at least I'm remembering 2 anyway. And yeah, I think I'd just like to try and protect them a bit more. I mean, this was just not very clean. I feel like you can get much more nicer banners. I think 64, which I would have got, well, maybe not even 64, 60, 59 plus the 10 for the first battle it didn't feel great. I mean, there's an argument there I could have stalled. I could have saved the AoE. I think in my mind I was thinking hopefully Gas will just go for someone else other than 3PO and Chewie, but why would he? You know, the AI is going to try and get the kill. So yeah, that was a bit of naivety on my part, but we got 67. It would have been 57 had we not done first battle, so a little disappointing. Now, this is the one that messed everything up. I will be straight up front about it. First of all, the mistake I made, I believe, is bringing Nuke Gunray in. When I've done this battle in the past, I've used BB-8, and whilst BB-8 is not a lock, it doesn't guarantee you a win. I feel like the initial turn meter bump can help. It just means that you've got more time to try and get target locks, more time to try and land debuffs with B2. So in general, I like it. The issue here is, as you can see, we've got both shock and daze on B2. So it means we're not taking bonus turns. If I'm right, Magna is about to die as well. So we do try and cleanse the debuffs on B2, but at this point, he's dying. You know, we're going to try and top him up. But we've got the issue, you know, can we just manage to pull this back? Because right now, we are not in a good place. I mean, we haven't even got an extortion out from Newt yet. Now, this is where we wanted to be. We got Mara Jade out. Arguably, I was targeting the wrong one at this point. I should have gone for Visas. And I do actually go for it. You can see that. I do go for Visas. But it was just a little too late. And so Starkiller brings down the Star Destroyer and, yeah, they heal up. Now, I should have paused at that point. I should have said, right, I'm not going to carry on. We're going to just take what we've got. Instead, I play on thinking maybe GG can solo this. That was naive. So not only do we preload, we don't even preload it with 4 on the field. We preload with 5. So bad first battle. I'd say that's the worst battle I've done on this account so far. So Lord Vader. This made sense to me. I thought we got a win with it last round. Let's go in with it this time. Now, I'll admit I've actually done the next Ground Arena since, so I'm recording this after round 2. And this was something that I had in mind when I chose my offense for the next round, because whilst this is a win, I'm just going to spoil that, I didn't particularly like sacrificing Watt this way. I feel like it limits my other offensive options, so I think this is going to be a case of if I need to, I can put Watt here, but I would rather try other things first. So it's one where I feel as well I'm going to have to relearn or remaster the JML counter, because I've been using that a few times and I don't feel safe with it. That's the best way I can put it. I feel with the JML team, there are times when there's too much of a risk of a timeout. Whereas with this, yes, it does go down to the wire, but it's all about stacking damage anyway. So the longer the battle goes on, the more chance you've got of winning. So that's the difference. With JML, it feels like it can get away from you, whereas the entire time you use an SLKR, it's getting closer. But yeah, I've got to weigh these up in my mind, because another thing that I didn't particularly like was that I essentially sacrificed Night Sisters using this team. And whilst on offense they're a 60 banner team, they're on 65, I think to myself, it's nice having that option. Although, again, I didn't use this team last round, but I did still keep the Night Sister team down on defense. So, oops on my part, I had a bunch of random Night Sisters available that I couldn't do anything with. So again, I need to remember that. But this is where I'm still learning with this counter, and I'm grateful in a way that I've had this 3/4 season to learn what I'm doing. I'm just trying to count my weeks now. We've got 2 weeks now, essentially, until 3v3 starts, so I've got time again to just plan some teams out, think what would work, what won't, and hopefully a little bit of time to do some remodding. So hopefully we've got time there, plus Starkiller will hopefully be at Rally by then. So there are positives, there are good things that will be coming here. It's just, yeah, I'm just looking at some of these battles and I'm thinking, I don't regret this one. I'm talking over this one because it's a bit of a long battle, but in general, this is probably one of the better battles of the round. But yeah, you think that droid battle still, it's on my mind. We can't drop like that on this account. It's too big a drop. And similar here, I thought, I'm going to try a JMK snipe, or a cat snipe. I'd done the calculations before, and I did think I might be too slow. So as you see, cat does get in there. My entire hope here was that I could somehow get Mandalorian to still get the snipe. It was naive. I don't know why I tried it. I lost a team trying something I knew wouldn't work. And I lost banners as a result. I mean, at this point, I'm not only hoping for a bunch of dodges on my side, but I'm also hoping that the Mandalorian is able to keep crit chance up or crit damage up. So, I mean, the game itself even sort of was a bit dumbstruck. It didn't send me to the defeat screen for quite some time. So, this was a bad one. This entire round was bad. I made a lot of mistakes, not even just on this account, to be honest. But I think I have days like this where I make silly choices. And again, I think sometimes I do need to find out why I'm doing this, or I need to try and learn from them. I've been saying this for a month or two now. I mean, even in the review videos I did last month, I was making mistakes and calling myself out on them. But when you're watching this, it becomes more painfully obvious that you're doing it. So yeah, we took JML. This is a comfortable battle. You might lose the odd banner. It all depends if Cat gets out to do a snipe. I don't believe it happened on this one, but in general, that's the only thing that can go wrong. What I'm thinking to myself is, in this round, I got JML and I got, who was it? I can't remember what else I got. Oh yeah, I got SLKL. So I put 2 down, and I got 2 for offense, and I put 4 down on defense. I think. I think anyway. If it wasn't 4, it was 3, and I was just outnumbered. So this was the issue, and you're thinking to yourself, you've got to try and do off-meta counters, or at least try them. And that's why I went in with the bounty hunters. I thought I need to try and at least save something. It's painful rewatching this because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, when I go for that Starkiller team, I may have been better trying something like Imperial Troopers, but the downside with Imps is you obviously need the speed advantage. You don't, if Mara Jade's too quick, you're not going to get it. The only thing I can think there is maybe Wat Tambor could give us a head start, but then that is still a very small jump. So yeah, I've got a calculator each time, and droids definitely seem the most reliable way of getting ahead. I certainly fancy them more than CLS. I think CLS in the end would struggle against a Starkiller comp, but I've got to find a way around it. I am sorry, I'm still stuck on that droid team losing to Starkiller, but again, it was partly down to Newt. I think Newt being there, he did nothing. He died, he got a bonus turn, that was it. I don't think he got extortion out once. You know, and you're thinking, he didn't do anything. I mean, BB-8 doesn't do anything, but at least he passively gives something. But yeah, like I say, I've been talking for 2 odd minutes here, and it's pretty routine at this point. I haven't lost a Jedi. We've got Cat out, JMK's going. So yeah, it's routine. I think what I would like, actually, you know what? I've just realised something very silly. Let me just move my window here. There we go. I'm actually going to look at the battle. It's a silly thing. But yeah, essentially, I'm a little worried at this point, I'm not going to lie. We've been in ult for quite a while, it feels. We don't seem to be getting JMK down. And part of my concern is Padme just buffing him up a bit too much. So yeah, it's a little bit of a concern. I'm thinking, do we need to stick to basics? Do we need to just resort to true damage? And it is a little difficult, that, so I do start passing to Hoda. I think Hoda's probably the one who can get us out of this mess. But then there's also that question of, if you pass an assist to Hoda, does that actually count as an assist or an out-of-turn attack? So that was something that I was questioning in my own mind. So yeah, this is very messy. I mean, thankfully Hoda was there. He was able to keep Grandmaster in the game. But yeah, with 1 minute on the clock, this has not gone well. So if you were to say to me, what is your go-to counter for JMK, it probably would be JML. You know, I know you can do it with Ray. I know you can do it with, I can obviously do mirrors, but JML for me is the big one. You know, I think, yeah, JML versus JMK, it's pretty safe. The only other option I could do is maybe try and do some weird cheesy comp with JMK that isn't with Cat, and then use Padme Cat on offense, but there's something about that feels like I'm cutting my nose off to spite the face. You know, you don't want to take Cat away from JMK, but maybe I'll have to have a look at it. So this is where the droid loss affected me. I didn't have anything left for this. And yeah, it kind of shows. I mean, for the record, I put a lot down on defense, or at least I feel I did with hindsight. So I didn't have anything that I thought, oh yeah, I can throw this here and that will do something. I mean, I took an Iden thinking, well, actually, it was some chat suggestions that were saying it, that because Iden Omicron is protective against attacks out of turn, maybe it would be good against Starkiller. But no. I get wrecked, and I think I have to back out very quickly here just to make sure that I don't preload it worse. So I thought, alright, let's go to another big team, let's try Gas. And this didn't go any better, really. I mean, to his credit, Gas kind of stood up for a bit and tried to stem the tide, but the entire issue with this is that you've got Mara Jade, she's putting Tenacity down on your side, then we've got shocks going all over the place, so it's very hard to get any turn meter. I mean, Rex is good, he is fast, but he's just not getting in this game. You know, thankfully Gas gets back up, but again, we're just going to be stun locked. You know, you're looking at it when Gas gets up and you think, right, can we actually get going? But no, we're just out of it for too long. And it doesn't help that Mara Jade's under stealth, because she's the one I'd be thinking, okay, if I can get her out, then I can get back into this with a clean-up. But yeah, the Star Destroyer comes down. Thankfully, Gas is standing, so he only sits. But the two sides get stunned. Rex goes down pretty much straight away, and this is just painful rewatching, if I'm going to be honest. So I decided to back out. I thought there's no way Gas is going to solo this. So, hang on, did I actually? I didn't try and solo it, did I? I was going to say, I thought I backed out. Alright, so this was my final attempt, I'll be completely upfront. And it's the final battle on this account for the fact that, yeah, I just didn't have anything left. I thought, there's nothing that will even make a dent in this. So I thought, I'm going to try Imps, maybe we can just survive the initial turn meter. And we didn't have Open L. So, it's not going to be an impressive one, but let's show you the final score. So, no big surprises about what happened on defense here. Just for a bit of a review though. So yeah, 1-1-1-1 on this wall. If we go down south, we had 1-1-1-1. And I think at this point my opponent thought, you know what, he's not going to do anything, he's hit a brick wall. So two-shot my Kenobi, didn't clear the C, which I'm pleased with, because I did go heavy with that. And yeah, Darth Revan. So that was comforting in some ways, but in other ways it was like, should I have done that? And yeah, they also cleared exec, so slightly painful that. But I made mistakes, I've got to own them, so yeah, it was a rough loss there, but well, the way I see it is, I know the result of round 2, so what I will say, there's going to be a link up in the top right corner. Check that video out and just see how I got on. So this was my first opponent of the week on Temmin. We were facing DangerousGeorge. There was a 1 million GP difference approximately between us, 20 Zetas. I got an advantage of 2 Omicrons. I was behind in Relics though by 20. 17 Relic 5 pluses I was behind. Gear 12, yeah. That one was pretty big, yeah, 24, that was not a small amount. Thankfully the 31 behind on the 6 dots wasn't massive, although I was quite a way behind on the 15 pluses. Oddly enough, we both had the same 20 pluses, and I was ahead on the 25s, so interesting stats going in. I was only 1 GL behind as well, plus I had got an Executor, so that did play a part, although my opponent is capable of clearing Executors, so that was something to bear in mind. So let's show you how the board looked. Okay, so this is how the board started at the start of the round. Yeah, not a lot of change, but there were a few, so let's just go through them. We got Geos, Dabob Boba, Padme, and Dash Rendar. Down south, we got JML, we got Gas, we got Dooku, and we got Darth Revan. Then on the back was, I'll leave the back wall until I show you the final score. I forget that every time. So my opponent, what did they set? Well, they put a Rolo team down, they put Phasma down, they put Django down, and they put Bosk down. They also put Old Republic with a Relic Canderous. They put Mon Mothma with Wigs and POW and HRS. So half decent. They put Night Sisters down, and they put Geonosians down. So mildly interesting defense. So yeah, let's show you how the first battle went. Okay, so here's Temmin, and yeah, we started off pretty comfortably. We went against Mon Mothma. This is a counter I'm using all the time right now. I think to myself, I like this. It's a little bit OP. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't it be? I actually think to myself, should I have just taken Vader and Thrawn in with that? I don't know. Night Sisters versus Geos. Now, the reason I've done it in this order, this video, with DarthUnkei first, Temmin second, is I felt it was important to show the order of the stream. Because, yeah, I'd just come off a very bad round. So I'm thinking I need to buck up here. I need to not only perform better for the stream, because obviously I don't want people thinking I'm just a complete useless numpty. But besides that, I'm also thinking to myself, I need a win. You know, I really don't want to lose this. So yeah, just looking back at this, I'm thinking this was a dangerous match. I mean, Geonosians can always be a little bit dicey, but you're looking at that, they've already got Dakar in the yellow. Now, I'm watching here and I'm thinking there may be a revive. I wasn't counting, I will be honest, just now. But you're thinking, okay, we've lost Dakar. And I remember thinking at the time, this is just my luck. I think I might be actually saying that right now. This is just my luck that Dakar is the one that goes at this point. So I was talking in the chat at this point, and they were, well, I say at this point, it was coming up. And I was saying, was I being deliberate at this point, or was it me just pushing my luck? And I would say it was both. I decided I was going to stick and not back out. One, because I didn't want to lose, but also because I had a feeling the AI might just get stuck on zombie. I don't know why, but I had a feeling. That's the only way I can put it. At any point during these turns, the AI could have said, right, we are going to go for Asajj. Asajj goes, and we are wrecked. But for some reason, I thought, I'm going to just gamble. And it purely is that, a gamble. And we'll just go and see if we can charge Asajj up and also get our tunes back. So we actually get a kill with the AoE. I'm thinking, right, this is good. And at this point, I'm thinking, right, we've got to get another. We get Dakar back, we get a revive, and we get the win. And we actually get 60 banners. But by God, it was a gamble. If I was saying this to you, should you do it? No. That could have easily been an embarrassing loss. But I will take it. That was risk and reward. So, again, we got a very clean battle here. I could actually fast forward through some of this, but honestly, it's not worth it because it's that fast. Even with my puny imps here. Essentially, clean 65 no matter what day of the week you're going on. As long as you've got a faster tune than the Night Sisters will be with Asajj's speed, you're going to be fine. So yeah, at this point I'm feeling quite good. We've had a clean first battle with against Mon Mothma. In fact, it was an overkill battle. Then we've had what turned out to be a good result against the Night Sisters, where it could have gone very wrong. And then this is, again, as comfortable as you're going to get with battles. You know, getting a 65 against Night Sisters with imps, you can't ask for anything else. So I'm going and thinking, all right, this is good. And then things decided to go a bit haywire. So let's show you the next one. Now, I don't have a lot of regrets for this, but I do have regrets. I think in my mind, I got a bit stuck on. I got a bit stuck on the wrong targets. So I'm looking here and I'm thinking, maybe this team was bad anyway. You know, when you think these are B Team Rebels bar... Well, yeah, they are B Team Rebels. You know, K2 and Cassian are just kind of chilling here. But I'm looking and thinking, could I have maybe played this just a little bit better? The one thing I'm missing here, a bit like the entire Rebel faction I'm finding, is a dispel. So I'm really struggling to get around Big Z's taunt. And I think at this point I'm thinking, can I find a way around it? I.e., can I... sorry, I'm just trying to get my words out. Can I, at the very least, try and use AoEs to damage the other side tunes? The issue is Kandros is Rallic, so he is not going to go down without a fight. Now, adding to that, we've got a lot of dots on our side. Cassian is dead. This was... Well, K2's dead as well. The one thing going for us is that Wedge at this point is quite offensive, and he's got a little bit of speed, so he was going to deal some damage for us. In fact, we're able to get Nest out quite comfortably with Rolo. But yeah, this was Danger Town. I didn't like it. I'm thinking, this is just asking for a loss. So, if you were to say to me, would I do this again? It'd be a big fat hell no. I'd take Bad Batch in. But at the time, I thought, well, this Wedge team's been doing okay, you know, and Old Republic aren't that great a defense team, so I thought maybe we can cheese it a little. But I think this is cheesing it a bit too much. Because when you think Bad Batch, they just need to be faster, whereas a lot of things needed to go well for that Wedge team. So that's definitely a case of we live and learn. So we've got First Order here. These are my puny First Order on this account. They are not good. Yeah, I knew they'd clean up because we could get control of both Kandros and Big Z. We could stun lock them and then we can just nuke them. So that was the gist of the plan. It wasn't that complicated, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a clean enough clean-up. In fact, I'm finding uses for Kylo Ren en masse just for this reason, that he's got a good irresistible or unresistible stun. Which is it? Unra? Either way. The stun cannot be resisted. So, yeah, it's a pretty clean way of just cleaning up some tunes like this. But, I don't like that I've gone to this situation. Again, this is an avoidable mistake. Bad Batch could have done this. So yeah, I need to learn from these situations. I've got a message popping up on my screen. Let me just get rid of it. There we go. So yeah, we get 41. It's the equivalent to 61 if it was a first timer, so a few banners dropped. Nest versus Ewoks, I will skip through this because even though Nest matches are usually a bit of fun, this just took a bit of time, so we'll just skim ahead a bit. It's like I say, we've done 3 minutes odd and we're just down to Wicket. So it was a 68, it was what you would expect, but it just took a bit of time getting them down. Alright, so what was next? We had Dash. So I went in with JKR, I thought, I've made mistakes already. Well, I've made a mistake already. Let's play it safe. That was a bit rough, I'm not going to lie. The one reason I took JKR in, I thought, first we can go for Vandal straight away. Sorry about that. But besides that, I thought we've got a fair bit of control on this side. We've got a lot of way of getting back into the battle, getting rid of all these debuffs. So I liked the team. The one thing that was concerning me, I thought, this is a big team to pay. You know, if I wanted to use JKR somewhere else, I might regret using it here, if that makes sense. You know, this is a top team for me. You know, for a lot of players down the line, JKR's had his day and gone now. But for me, I still use this every GA on offense. It's a great tune just to wipe something out. So it felt a little wrong using it on this team. It's not that Dash at the top end doesn't warrant it, but with these gear levels, with this comp, it didn't really feel justified. I mean, it worked, and I don't think it was the worst decision, but I don't know. I'm still having my little doubts and murmurings where I'm thinking, should I have done something else? So, yeah, I think this is where I'm second guessing myself. I think on paper this was the right call, but maybe down the line I need to think of different counters, because I'm seeing BAMs or dashes quite a lot at the moment. It's as if, you know, the batch of people who, like myself, who have been farming them are just getting there. So, yeah, I'm at that point where I think I need to start coming out with cleaner counters for them. So this is one I have more regrets over as well. We did have teams left. We weren't struggling, but for some reason I thought I'm going to try my very weak Sith Triumvirate here. I'll say it in part due to the chat saying what can lose to Rogue One. So I thought, all right, well, we'll try this. Maybe it won't lose. And it didn't lose. Again, spoiler alert there, but it wasn't clean. I mean, I should have known going in it wouldn't be clean. You know, there's not a lot of banner recovery in this group. But I think I'm out of mind. I was thinking, can I save something bigger just in case I need it? And I don't know why, because at this point I could see the entire board. I mean, you guys know everything I'm going to be facing now. So I didn't really need to save more. Or at least I didn't realise it anyway. But yeah, it's awkward. I mean, as well, it would have helped if Treya had got a second Zeta. I think in this situation, if the second Zeta had been there, we would have been in a better position, just for that simple reason. I'd be cleansing debuffs, we wouldn't be dazed, we wouldn't have buff immunity speed down. But there's a lot going against us right now, and yeah, I think maybe that is just a simple argument. I need to give her a second Zeta so that if I do want to use her in situations like this, she will support her Sith allies a bit more, because yeah, I was a bit worried, especially with Scion there. I mean, he's on death's door. He is not looking pretty. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of looking at this now and thinking, how the heck did Scion not die? This was just pure filth. It was one of the worst decisions I've made. I mean, look at that. Nihilus did go. So we didn't even get Annihilate. I don't know why I did this. I'll just keep saying it. It's just weird watching it, because I do want to build the Triumvirate up on this account. It's got to be a project down the line. I've got Treya on my favourites. But yeah, 59, it kind of sums up where they are right now. They can't even beat Rogue One. Now, this is one of the worst matches I've had. Well, one of the worst results I've had. So you're looking there, you're thinking, okay, Rollo's got 40 dots on her. She is dead. Now, what doesn't surprise me here is that Captain Harm brings her back. You know, that's his role in the team, revive allies, so no bones there. What I didn't realise, but someone in the chat pointed out, was that Dauntless, her Zeta, it essentially amps her offense up, plus her Battlefront command decreases on cooldowns, if I'm correct, for each resisted debuff or something like that. So essentially taking Wampa in there is asking for him to be killed. So yeah, that was painful. I honestly thought that was a clean win because they were rebels, but Rollo had other ideas. So it does double down on the fact Regia kits, but I just honestly didn't think there was anything in Rollo's lead that would worry me there. So you live and learn. You live and learn. So that's 2-drop battles. Atbar, it felt like an expensive cleanup, but it was a cleanup. Again, I really didn't like using this to clean up. It felt expensive. You know, there's got to be lesser teams I could use, but it was a cleanup. I thought it's not a risk. It will win, so it did its job. Bounty Hunters. Another one where I'm dropping banners, and this has happened a few times recently with Bounty Hunters, and I'm not sure what I'm doing differently that has always worked for me. It could be the fact that maybe I've got the wrong mods on my resistance, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm coming up against better Bounty Hunters. But yeah, I feel like my resistance are really getting whacked. Even if I'm trying to keep boss quiet and then going for the other side, it feels like the sides are getting out a lot quicker. And then you've got situations like this where I've got Finn taunting just to try and take the pressure off R2 to the first blows. And yeah, Finn will struggle. Maybe not in this specific battle, but just in general, this is the way it's been going for me lately. I mean, I've been saying to my live streams, I need to get the Resistance Brothers built up fast. And the trouble is, they aren't even on my immediate list. They are on my list. They're on my favourites, but I've got like Galactic Republic on my mind. I've got Geonosians. I've got a few that I just need to thicken my factions up with. And again, these just aren't top of the list. I mean, I held my hands up. At this point, I'm worried. Even though we got bossed down quick, I didn't like the idea of a taunt. I thought, oh god. Saying that as well, I didn't like the idea that we were just going to go for Boba Fett, and if the stun didn't land, R2 was probably dead, so we got a bit lucky there, although why I did an AoE, I do not know. I was making silly calls. It's as simple as that. Thankfully, Boba was stunned, and yeah, I think we got rid of Bounty Hunter Resolve, so he couldn't do anything. We were able to focus down on Mandalorian. But yeah, I think we do end up getting 61 here, or whatever the max is you can get with 4, but by golly, it was a slog, this one, and I've been having too many of those. So I need to sharpen up this counter. It's as simple as that. I mean, again, Dengar's going to do stuff. Dengar is an annoying bounty hunter. He's just there to snipe banners and say, haha, I got you. And yeah, he got me. I'm not happy about it, but I accept that's his role in this team. It's so frustrating watching them bombs blow up though. Because you can try and stall the battle, which is what I do. You know, I think, can we at least stall on Dengar? But the trouble is, he gets tenacity up, so it's hard to stun him. So yeah, with basic, we do go for a stun here. And again, we're just going to keep trying to spam that ability. It's where if we had C-3PO in here, it'd be a clean battle. But you just can't sacrifice C-3PO with the Rebel team. It's they're too good a match. So yeah. I'm stuck for more things to say here, I'll be honest. We do manage to recover some banners. I did say I thought I got 61, but it was probably 60 because, yeah, getting 61 with Dengar left is a bit of a challenge. I mean, we have got max banners on BB-8 and Rey, but I think it was a bit too much trying to get any more back on R2 and Finn. At least that's how I remember it. Yeah, we got 55 cooldown at that point on Illuminated Destiny. Yeah, well, I could stall as much as I could, but I really needed Finn to take another turn, and we just couldn't get there. So 60 banners, it wasn't the worst, but we've certainly had better. Look at my things making noises. So we've got Bounty Hunters. That was a pretty clean match, to be fair. Just mute my watch. Yeah, Bounty Hunters, they were no threat. And to be honest, this is where I'm annoyed at the battles I've dropped, because you look at the fact that I'm using a top-tier team like this, and well, I consider this one of my top-tier teams anyway, and I've dropped battles on, well, dropped banners on Rollo and, what was the other one? Old Republic. You know, I look and I think, why didn't I just play more heavy-handed? Why didn't I just go for the banners? So it's frustrating because I'm sure I could have done a lot better, but I just gifted banners here, and it's frustrating watching it because you're thinking there's a lot of what ifs, you know, like what if I had played smarter, but you think to yourself, it's something I need to do. If I know my opponent, which in this case we did notice from the planning stages, if we know an opponent is going to go very heavy on defense, very heavy on offense, then we've got to be very efficient on offense because they've got all their best tunes available to them. So we've got to make sure we do well with what tunes we bring with us. And yeah, it was. You might have gathered what the result's going to be, by the way, but yeah, it's painful just watching some of this. It's the best way the best word I have for it. So. Yeah, GG, by the way. I took GG in. It's probably one of the bigger teams I got left. It was a clean way of getting through this, especially after the few drop battles. I thought, I am not even thinking about undersizing or trying weird comps. I don't think I've got much left at this point anyway. But yeah, it was the cleanest option. I was a bit concerned about Carlo here. I thought, is he going to do something funky? But yeah, he's got Bobo, healing immunity on him. He's just going to take a bit of time because he stacks defense, but we get there in the end. So I'll be honest, I'm going to need a drink soon. yeah, it's a bit of a bummer how this played out, but we got the win 62, but still, okay. So yeah, ships. I was actually very happy with ships, I'll be honest. We took just these 3 against Finalizer. My opponent put Echelon in, even though it's 4-star. That was probably a mistake on their part as far as banner efficiency. Because, yeah, my Rebels are quite good. I say it a lot, but the one thing I will toot my horn about on this account is my Rebels. If I ever feel confident about something, it's these. Not just the ships, but the actual tunes. And it's where that Rolo loss still stings, because it's like, I do pride myself on Rebels, so to lose against them was real sickener. But yeah, I look at it and I think this was a bit banner sniping at this point. Concussion mines are not what I want, but equally, we might be able to get them out before even okay, that was the thought anyway. Can we get them out before the bombs go off? But they were only on short fuses. So yeah, at this point, it's just taking out the extinction bomber. It's not the biggest challenge. I'm trying to recover the banners where I can, but we don't really get a lot. We don't get the option from Biston, so it's just about can we recover banners on bigs. We do get there though, 77 banners. So yeah, I actually thought we'd lost some on Biston there, but maybe I had protection up more than I realised. Anyway, Galactic Republic versus a Home 1 fleet. Again, pretty bog standard match. Straight away we go out, put days on. It has been quite nice having Relic Anakin. It's not the biggest difference because it's only Relic 1, but it's just that little bit of comfort where you think, you know what, at least he is Relic. At least he's just a little bit more powerful than he was last week. And it's not like I'm suddenly going to go into matches and thinking, oh, I can actually tear this fleet apart, but it's just one of these things where you know he's going to hit a little bit harder. So it has been a good thing. He's almost where Crimson's is, to be fair. Or it might even be the same level as Crimson. I can't remember Crimson's Anakin offhand. But with that in mind, I know I can do stuff with that Anakin, so I think it's not as bad as a Gear 12. Alright, so at this point I'm thinking banner recovery, bring in Plo. Struggle to get the protection back, sadly, but we do okay. We do okay. So I got 74 banners. Again, I'd call that a good score. And then finally, we took in our Geonosians versus this Endurance fleet. Not a lot I can really say about this. It was a very weak fleet, but I think this is where some people, including myself, are, that we just got weird stuff on defense, so you got to do the best with what you've got. Yeah, we'll do a double tap here. And then just clean up Consular. Endurance was pretty quick, I will give it credit. I wasn't expecting a Resistance Bomber coming in, I will be honest. But yeah, it didn't really stand a chance. And yeah, we just bring in, I think it was Cassian. Yeah, Cassian to clean up. So yeah, pretty easy at the end. So let me know what you think the final score was, and now I'll show you. Okay, again, this one hurt. 1796 to 1822. And yeah, that is 26 banners. So if we just look here, right there, that's 20 banners. And if we go up here, and we just look at that Rolo, that's another 20. So that is just misplays costing me. I could have probably won with the Wampa against Old Republic, and if I'd have tried that wedge team here, I'm not saying that would have won, but it probably would have had a better success chance. So yeah, and I haven't even included Bad Batch in any of that. So painful, because credit to my opponent again. I do feel the need to say it, but yeah, they were efficient. I mean, I don't feel like my team's on defense are the strongest right now. I feel like I'm having to take a lot on offense just to try and make sure I actually get full clears. But I know the argument should be maybe put more down on defense and don't aim for the full clear, but yeah, I always think to myself then, well, what happens if your opponent still full clears you and you've only cleared half a board? So yeah, that's where my headset goes. Yeah, one-shot Executor as well, so that was a bit painful. So I can't really do much about that. It's all done now, but hopefully round 2 we at least put in a better performance because, well, I say that, I know how round 2 went, but fingers crossed. Well, let's say fingers crossed. Well, let's say I feel I did a better performance, but you be the judge of it. So Crimson was up against ScoobyDoo. Yeah, we got 1.9 million difference between us. Quite a big difference between the Zetas, although our Omicron count was the same at 3. I would like to add that I've got 2 hoarded, so you never know, ScoobyDoo might have some hoarded as well, but I kind of like the idea that I have actually got some held in reserve. It's just I haven't got anything to put them on. Yeah, I'm 6 relics behind. I'm 19 Relic 5 pluses behind, 32 Gear 12s behind, 10 6-dot mods behind, but I'm only 15 speed mods behind, or 15 plus speed mods, and I'm ahead on the 20 and 25 pluses. I've got 2 GLs, JMK and SLKR. My opponent has got JMK, JML, and Sith Eternal Emperor. So made for an interesting start. So let's show you how it looked going into the battle. So, as you can see, SLKR was down on my side, but my opponent put JMK and Sith Eternal Emperor down. Now, I'd gone into this with the plan that I would use JMK to mirror, and then I would do General Grievous against Sith Eternal Emperor. Now, my plans changed a little bit, and I kind of regret that, but I'll show you that during the battles. And there's a reason for it. So let's just clarify what's on my walls. SLKR, as I said, up top. We got CLS again, we got Bosk, we got the Dooku team, and down south we got Gas, the Shaq team, the Old Republic with Nest team, and the BAM team. So pretty much the same as the last round. My opponent, I got an interesting Darth Revan team with no Bastila Shan Fallen, so that was slightly easy to take down. Going to say Bastila Shan Fallen needs to be with Darth Revan if you're going to do a Darth Revan team on defense. Darth Revan's just very easy to take down on his own by comparison to when she's with him. Bounty Hunters, yeah, Bounty Hunters are always a staple on defense at this level. JMK with Visas Mar and Ahsoka Ayla and Mace. Now that was unexpected. I did have a look at the history, but I didn't have a close enough look. I saw that JMK went down on defense a lot, but I did not realise he put Visas with her, or with him. So that did throw me. And then we got General Grievous. Then the bottom wall, JKR on defense. That's something I haven't seen in a long time. I have not actually been used to facing JKRs on defense, so that was a bit of an awkward one. I thought, what am I going to take in here? We got Dash Rendar, we got Geonosians, and we got Sith Eternal Emperor. So on paper, an interesting lineup. Like I say, I have regrets. So let's get into the first battle, and you'll probably be able to work out where the regrets come from. Alright, so this was the mistake I was talking about. I said it as soon as I got in at this point, most likely. I realised that by taking in JMK against Sith Eternal Emperor, I had made it so that I didn't have a JMK counter. I think in my mind I'd expected to gas the top team, but I'd forgotten that I hadn't got Gas. He was on defense. So I had played myself into a corner, and watching this is painful because I'm using that word a lot today. I think that will somehow end up in the thumbnail. But yeah, this was a fun stream. This is the weird thing. I enjoyed this stream. I had a lot of fun in the chat. I had a lot of fun doing some of these battles, even though I was losing. But watching it back, it is painful because it's like, even though I had a fun night, it's painful just seeing how things turned out because I know that I just had nothing for JMK. I mean, we will try something. I will show you that battle, but it's more hurtful knowing that at this point this is such a clean win. I mean, see, I had no chance here. It makes me wish I'd got another Galactic Legend available, because if I could have just thrown anything that was reasonably powerful at that JMK, I would have torn it apart. But because all I got was well, you'll see in a minute what I've got. But because I used JMK in the wrong place, yeah, it just It stings. I don't want to say painful again. I feel like I need a thesaurus. But yeah, clean bug counter. Well, I did say it last time, or last week, I'd remodded my Treya team just to try and give them a bit more defense, a bit more protection, more survivability. And in battles like this, it seems to have paid off because they do stand up, they do survive the initial blows. So I'm calling that a result. You know, it's one of these situations where I will not complain. I think, all right, you did your job, Cyan, you got your taunts up. So, yeah, I'm very happy. I think we even got through the back without losing anything on Treya. I might be wrong, but yeah, I'm calling that a very good battle. I mean, considering how some went this night, that was about as good as I could ask for. So yeah, 65. Next one, Murder Bears versus Dash. Now this Dash was not fast, so that's why the Murder Bears went in. I'll say he wasn't fast, he was obviously pretty quick because you can see the turn meter, but obviously my Paplu was faster. So yeah, you always have to remember with Paplu, via his unique, he gains speed, so you mod your Paplu to be fast, you can generate turn meter for the team via Paplu's, via Paplu's second special, so it allows you to take a couple of turns before they even get out of the gate. So it's a pretty fun team for that reason. I think the unique gets slept on, well, yeah, he's unique, sorry, it gets slept on by some people. So yeah, I'm just looking here, they haven't really got a chance. Grief, he was really in the wrong team. But yeah, 65, I may have used the Ewoks in the wrong place if I'm just looking back with a bit of self-criticism. JKR and defense, I've not really faced one for a while, so I was in two minds what am I actually going to use here, and I thought, well, Imperial Troopers are a team that can beat pretty much anything, or at least anything that you think you can beat. You know, Galactic Legends are obviously a fight too much for most of them, but I thought we got a good chance against JKR, to put it mildly. So yeah, it was a clean battle. I mean, I do wish I could have thrown something smaller at it. I really don't like throwing imps on the front wall at something like this, but sometimes they are just one of those pieces that you have to put aside and say, right, you're going to serve a purpose here today. So we took JKR in against the droids. I've shown this battle a million times, so I will fast forward a little bit just to save repeating it. It was a bog standard match. We did lose JKR, as you can see there. At this point, though, we're just waiting for Jolie to come back with the revive, so here he comes. And yeah, we obviously drop a few banners. You can see that JKR is just a little bit low, but we do recover a little bit. So it's not, how do I put it? It wasn't a great battle, but considering it could have gone a lot worse considering where we were when I've just fast forward, I'll skip to the end. I think we got good banners in the end, considering that. Although 42, did I miss one? Hang about. Okay, so this is the one that I skipped over by accident, so I apologise for that. I did try Qui-Gon Army against GG first, and yeah, it didn't really pan out well. I did forget about this. It must have got lost in the editing. But yeah.
In theory, it should work.
As I've said, it didn't go well. I mean, I think in my mind I was hoping for a bigger AoE from Anakin here, and yeah, it barely tickled B2, so I don't know what I got wrong there, if I'm going to be honest. It could be the offense on my JKA, you know, just what was never going to be a big enough AoE, but yeah, it was not a good battle. So let's get back to the rest of this. Let's just fast forward to the correct point. Here we go. So that was the end of the JKR cleanup. Next one, we did Geos versus Bounty Hunters. All right, let me move this back over here as well so I can actually look like I'm watching it. Yeah, at this point, I'm finding Geos are actually a very good counter to Bounty Hunters when you need them. Just for the fact that usually you're able to get a good early ability block on Bosk, assuming the speeds match up anyway. The only one that can be an issue was Dengar with the AoE with tenacity down and the bombs, but if you time your heal up right from Brute, that's not usually an issue. So yeah, it's a good battle. you know, you can usually get a good 60 plus battle at least. The downside is you can sometimes have a bit of a stall with Bosk. You've always got to keep him in check. Also, you don't want to lose someone to Bulba just deciding to execute someone. So again, it's pretty important trying to keep him in check. It's a bit of a juggling act, but it's a fun one, you know. It's one that I'd personally choose to do over, you know, over killing it with Imperial Troopers. But yeah, as you can see, at this point, they've got no chance. There's one AoE, like I say, in Dengar, but that's more for banner sniping purposes than for, you know, any real threat. So, can I fast forward again? Can I just skip a bit? Yeah, as you can see, we're probably going... We'll get down to Dengar. You always have Dengar last in these battles because it's stealth. So, yeah. We did get 65, so that was it was a good result, that. So this was the attempt I did try on JMK, and this is where I'm more annoyed at myself, because GG Newt would have taken out that C. I know that. I don't know why I didn't do it. But in my mind, I was thinking we could gas this. And I'm just really angry at myself for thinking, oh yeah, I got gas when I hadn't. It's so frustrating because I'd got the counters lined up and pretty much everything went as planned except for that Qui-Gon battle. And it's something like this just wrecks it. I don't know. I'm frustrated with myself because, like I say, this was not a good JMK comp. I mean, I say that for the simple reason you're going to watch this and I feel unlucky to have lost it in some ways. I mean, I don't think I should have won it, but equally I feel I was unlucky to lose it. Work that one out. But yeah, Mace in this team is actually very annoying. I will praise Mace's rework for that. I really was getting frustrated having to target him, but I thought, all right, well, that's kind of what we have to do. The AI was also being very smart, deciding to go for Wat Tambor quite a fair bit, so I wasn't able to keep him alive as long as I would have liked. Also, as you can see, B1's at 25 stacks of Droid Battalion, so one, he's not got a lot of offense, and two, he's really not he's not going to be around long enough to heal up my allies. So this is quite concerning. I mean, the one thing I will say, Watt's biggest role in this battle as far as trying to do something was the health pack on Grievous. That was the one thing I could hope for, that maybe it would be enough to just keep him in the game. But as you can see, it's not looking great. They're all pretty pumped up at this point. You know, I can get an AoE out with Grievous. We can actually deal some decent damage with it. But healing immunity wrecks. You know, it's like, we're going to feel that in a minute, and it's not nice. I mean, just wait for it. That's all I can say, wait for it. I mean, again, V2 does some things. He hangs around. Probably a bit longer than I would have expected, if I'm being fair. We get another AoE. I think we do wipe out a couple there. Well, we got Visas anyway, so another AoE. We get Ahsoka and Ayla. But at this point, a 2v1 on Grievous was not going to win. Especially with damage immunity like that. I mean, I think if we got B2 still, we might have had a chance, because I could have put buff immunity onto Mace, and then from there I could have tried just focusing down on JMK. But the AI played smart. Not to mention as well, the more stacks of resilient defense that Mace has got, the harder he's going to hit, if I remember right. So it's painful rewatching this, because it would have been so easy using GG against C and then JMK mirror. So on paper I deserve to have lost this, but it doesn't make it any less painful seeing it. Alright, so the next battle, we did EP versus DR, and usually this wouldn't be a win, but there was no Bastille Shan Fallen in that team, so they were missing a very key component. Despite the fact that they had quite a few turns, they were able to get their own Terminator train going, or you'd think. As soon as Vader goes, he decides, you know what, I'm going to yeet a few of you. I mean, again, you might think, oh, but they're only Gear 12, but I think, yeah, just because they're Gear 12 doesn't mean that they haven't got the mechanics. DR teams are still quite annoying. So I'll look at this and I think it does, in my opinion, it comes down to BSF not being there. If Bastler had been in there, I think it would have been a harder thing for me to get a result, just for the fact that fear would have been doubled. We would have had less turns. But yeah, as it stands, she wasn't there, and we got a pretty comfortable win. Mara bit a bullet, but 59 against DR with EP, I will take. So yeah, this is my last throw of the dice, and I've been using comps like this a lot lately, and usually it's against really weird backwall teams rather than Galactic Legends. So yeah, my hands are up. I didn't expect this to win, but I thought I may as well throw it. I may as well just see what I can do with it. But it doesn't mean that I was happy about this. You know, it's like, well, I don't really know what I can add. This is just painful still. I've used painful so many times in this video. If someone would like to count and tell me how many times I said it, I would like to know, because I'm sure it's well into double figures. But yeah, 8 stacks of resilient defense on Mace. He's going to wreck me in a moment. There he goes. Well, to be honest, wrecking Newt is not a difficult challenge at gear 11. So I'm going to leave it there as far as comments. There's about 15 seconds left on this little clip. So yeah, let me know what you think the final score was. Do you think my opponent full cleared me? Do you think he half cleared me? You saw the defense, you make your mind up. There goes 3PO. Let's show you the final score. So as I said, my mistakes cost me. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I didn't even touch the back wall. I didn't show any of it on stream, on the clips. But yeah, Iden Versio, Mon Mothma and Bo-Katan, I didn't even bother touching them because I just didn't have enough to take them on. Just looking at the front wall, just to clarify what we did. Yeah, all one shots. Then we get to what was the tasty battle, and I just couldn't beat JMK. And it is hard watching it. I mean, granted, Qui-Gon there let me down as well. That wasn't good. But yeah, that I'm still kicking myself over it, because it's like, why didn't I just do the JMK mirror and do GG on C? Because as we see, pardon the part pun there, my opponent struggled up as well with me. They couldn't take down my Slacker, they couldn't beat CLS, couldn't take down, well, they took my bounty hunters down. We go down south. Okay, all one shots there. But again, as you can see, Darth Revan preloaded one battle, and you know, one battle on the other's fair enough, but if I could have just got JMK down, I could have got the 3/4. So it's my own mistakes again, and it's really infuriating, because it's where I just need to tighten up. I need to not make silly choices. You know, instead of going for what is maybe more off meta, just go for simple counters. So I'm just hoping I learn my lesson moving forward, because this was a bad week. So a very quick review for my first opponent on, well, what was I Need to Relic Sabine, but since then we've had the name change. It is now Not Sabine Relic Night Sisters. Oh yeah, sorry, this is, I feel like my account name has been abused a little bit, but I have opened myself to it. So yeah, let's just show you the walls very briefly. We faced CLS and JKR, not the toughest CLS team, so I think we did General Grievous against that. I can't remember what we did there. Maybe it was Grievous there and we did Bad Batch there. That actually would make a bit more sense. Oh, no, hang on, we did General Grievous there and we did the JKR there. Sorry, this is a couple of days ago for me now. Then the Batwall, I believe it was all level 1 tunes. Oh, no, spoiler alert. Okay, so yeah, Phoenix, and we took 2 on this because I think we got stuck on Nest, but we did have a cleanup. I think we actually used Phoenix to clean it up, so that was quite useful. And then the top wall, what did we do here? Yeah, I think we did Bad Batch on, I think it was Bad Batch on Crew, but after that I can't remember, I'll be honest. Yeah, we got through it. We probably did Trey on one of them as well, so we managed to get through them all. We got Newt as well, so that was another thing. But yeah, defense did quite well. I did shift around a little bit, like I said I would. Padders, Night Sisters and Geos, they all got knocked down straight away, but Negotiator did hold. So that was something. I think they saw it and just gave up. But to be fair, I just ignored them as well, so Fleet cancelled itself out. So it all came down to, could they beat Gas? And the answer was no, they couldn't. So I'm happy at that. It was a nice welcome win for a change, because I think I had 0-3 on this account last time. So yeah, it's nice to get a win on the under the belt. But for me personally, if you said to me I could go and win on the other 3 accounts and lose on this one, I would do it every time. So to win on this one and lose on the other 3, no, not what I want at all, really. So yeah, that's been my ground arenas for week 4, round 1 of season 26 or 27. I'll be honest, I don't know what number we're really on. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions or any thoughts, leave them down in the comments. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, all the usual YouTuber stuff that we always go on about. Keep supporting the channel, etc, etc. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.